So the first thing to say, which Dana hit upon, is that personalization and building these out is definitely an investment. It will take you longer than sending a standard, straightforward static email. It will, but it will also yield better results. And I think the real value is you're going to get in the longer term. So when you built them out once, you can pick them up, you can review the results, you can improve on them next time, and you're not going to have to start from scratch. So whilst it might feel like you spent a long time building something out, and the good news, as we mentioned, is, we, and by we, I mean really Brian has built these already, and we will share them out. But, crucially, you will be able to, when you have them in your broadcaster, in your website, in your sandboxes, whatever it is, you're going to be able to use them over and over again. And so to that point as well, make sure you do, when you're doing it, when you're sending emails out to donors, when you're, trying these different things, make sure you take full records of what you did, what you tried, what worked really well, what didn't work so well. I know that for a lot of organizations, big fundraising pushes are things that happen once a year. This time next year, you might have had staff turnover, you might have had significant growth, you might be in a very different place. So you're going to want to make sure you can look back on where you were and what you did, and then what you can then replicate and ideally improve. And obviously with NationBuilder, you can get the statistics, you can get the filters, you can get some of the reporting that you need to do that. And of course, we've shown you a lot here, and there's obviously even more that you can do, but we've just touched on some of it. I think it's crucial that whatever you do, and it's always worth bearing in mind, fits into your wider strategy. You're not going to necessarily be able to do to do all of it, and there are lots of ways to go, but it has to fit in with your strategy, whether that's your comms, brand, engagement strategy, and whatever works needs to make sense. There might be things that you've seen that look cool for one organization, but they just might not make sense for another. And so your targeting, your personalization, your ask, they all need to be considered on that. And then finally, please don't forget to test what you're building. I'm sure you won't, but sometimes people don't. And I covered it in the last webinar on personalization. There's a lot of ways you can do it. It's so important. You have the tools to do it, whether that's, adjusting values in your own record that you're logged in as, using test emails or records, and, logging in with different test records as well. And then, I know I said finally, but we're all learning at this. There are always novel, original ideas that are being tried out. So if you have something cool that you've built, please do let us know. We're always interested to hear it. And then equally, if you use some of the tactics we talked about today in your end of year push and they work really well, then please share those with us, because we'd love to hear what works or what doesn't work.